What is going on, good people of YouTube? I'm ImJslay. Thank you so much for joining me. And wherever you are, I hope you're having a great day. Today we're playing some Madden 21, but before we get into it, if you enjoy the content, leave a like rating. And if you'd like to see more, hit the subscribe button and turn the notification bell on to stay updated with all of my uploads. If you missed our previous video, I'll leave a link in the description of this video for you to go check it out. But in it, we talk about a coin making method out of the Team Standout set. Be sure, check that video out. So for today's video, I want to discuss who are the best quarterbacks and what is the best quarterback archetype in the game. Now, I've done something similar to this with the wide receivers. Be sure to click on the card in the top right-hand corner if you're interested and would like to see that video. But today, we're going to be discussing the quarterbacks. Now, I've got my quarterback that I use on my team, Josh Allen. Now, before I talk about the best archetype and the best quarterbacks, I want to show you the abilities that I use. Now, I have two abilities on Josh Allen, not counting his X Factor, which does not use any ability points. I've got Pocket Deadeye, which allows for perfect pass accuracy while you're throwing from the pocket. And then Gunslinger, which gives you faster throwing animations and velocity on bullet passes. These are one ability point per ability, so I'm only using 2 ability points on Josh Allen. This allows me to use other abilities for other players and free them up to whereas, let's say for example, I use a field general quarterback. Well, none of the field generals right now can actually get Gunslinger, so you wouldn't even be able to use that. And when they are able to get Gunslinger, once we get a field general that has, I believe it's 97 throw power, if I'm not mistaken, and then 95 awareness, it's something like that. It's going to be a 2 ability point ability, so you're better off just going with Josh Allen here. Now, if you base your whole offense around a field general, which I'm going to actually touch on here towards the end of the video, well, that might not be a bad idea, right? Yes, you're going to use more ability points later on, but you'll be able to use Hot Route Master. You'll have Gunslinger. You'll also have Conductor as well. So that really could be a super valuable item for us later on in the game. And that might be something we want to touch on. But right now, you really want to look at these strong arm archetype quarterbacks. So let's take a look, though. Strong arm is definitely the way to go right now. As I mentioned, it's going to save you on ability points that you can use in other areas. Now, so who are the best quarterbacks in the game? Well, I'm going to talk about 4 here today. It's very difficult to rank these. However, you can get a good idea once we go through some of their attributes and where you would rank them, right? So first off, we've got Matthew Stafford, right? Now, once he gets powered up, he's going to have 94 throw power. You can actually get that all the way up to, I believe, like 98, 99 throw power once you put chemistries on him. Short accuracy at 90, 88 medium accuracy, 91 deep accuracy. So that deep accuracy is pretty solid without putting any chemistries. You want to put play fake on him. The short and medium accuracy is going to rise up a good bit, right? So pretty solid card here. He does lack in the speed department, so that's where you're not really going to be able to scramble too much with Matthew Stafford. So if you do get in trouble, he's not going to give you that escapability like, say, maybe a Josh Allen or a Dante Culpepper would, which we'll get into here in a second. But Matthew Stafford is one of the strong arm quarterbacks you want to take a look at. Once again, Gunslinger, Pocket Deadeye, Quick Draw, Set Feet Lead. These are all going to be lower ability points on Josh Allen. I'm sorry, on Matthew Stafford because he has that strong arm archetype. Okay, next up, we have the aforementioned Josh Allen, and as you can see, with the play fake ability or the play fake chemistry that I have, he's up to 99 throw power. I can't tell you how valuable this is, especially when you take into account that we do have Pocket Deadeye and we have Gunslinger. Josh Allen is going to be able to make all the throws. Now, he does lack in that deep accuracy department, so he's not going to be as accurate on those deeper passes. But when you get Pocket Deadeye on him, if he's not pressured in all the things, if all of the circumstances line up correctly, that might not matter as much, right? He does end up getting 93 medium accuracy. He's got 90 short accuracy, so not too bad there. The throw on the run is pretty solid, and when you compare that with he's got 86 speed, if you do get out of the pocket, yes, if you've got Pocket Deadeye, that ability is not going to activate then. However, that throw on the run at 97 is pretty solid if you are facing that pressure and need to scramble outside of the pocket some. So this, I feel, is a better quarterback than Matthew Stafford. However, Stafford has him beat in the deep accuracy department. So maybe if you do throw a lot of deep passes, you maybe not necessarily need to put Pocket Deadeye on him. That can save up an ability for you to be able to put in another area. So maybe Stafford has the edge over him in that regard, but I feel like as an overall quarterback, Allen's the way to go between the two. Okay, next up, we've got Green Bay Packers and former Falcon, believe it or not, Brett Favre. Now, we've got Brett Favre here. Now, that throw power, once he gets powered up, you put some chemistries on him. I believe it's going to get up to 98, maybe even 99. He has very similar attributes to Josh Allen. When you look at that medium accuracy, it's going to be a little less after you get the chemistries on him. The deep accuracy is a little bit better, but it still falls under that 90 threshold. Not as good throw on the run. Not as good throw under pressure. I believe, if I remember correctly, Allen's was a little bit better. And he's a lot slower, right? So Brett Favre has one of the strongest arms, and this card may just play differently. We all know that some cards end up playing differently than others. I haven't used Brett Favre yet. I've pretty much been exclusively with Josh Allen. I would say Allen is a little better just when you look at the attribute-wise over Favre. But once again, Favre has that strong arm archetype, and he only has 2 player items, right? You don't have to necessarily need to buy other player items to go into his power-up. He just has his power-up, which is going for 2K. And then you have his player item, which is going for 100K right there, right? So not counting the training, you're only spending about 100K to be able to get him. We didn't look at Allen's price, but Allen, I mean, he's got more player items that are going to need to go into his set, right? So look at that before you make your decision. Don't base it around this solely. I feel like Allen's a better quarterback, but Favre having that strong arm archetype, and especially if you want to run a Packers, a Vikings, a Jets, who knows why you would want to do that. But if you want to run those theme teams, right, Favre might not be a bad option there. So Favre is another strong arm quarterback you want to take a look at in that archetype. Okay, last but not least, we do have Daunte Culpepper, and as you can see, the attributes very similar to some of the other quarterbacks that we've touched on so far. 93 throw power, you get him powered up, it's going to be around the 98 to 99 mark. He's sitting at 85 speed, which right there with Josh Allen. He's got 89 short accuracy, 87 medium accuracy, and 90 deep accuracy. So where they differ, right, is that the deep accuracy on Culpepper is a little better than Josh Allen, and once you go ahead and put some chemistries, it's going to get that medium accuracy up, a good bit. I want to say that medium accuracy, once he's powered up, it's going to go to about 92 or so. Remember, I believe Allen was at 93. Throw under pressure, throw on the run is going to meet those thresholds right there. Now, obviously, Josh Allen's throw on the run is going to be better, right? So he is going to be one of the better ones as far as getting outside of the pocket and throwing when he's facing pressure. But if you're solely just sitting in the pocket, Culpepper's going to be a solid option, right? 6'4", 260, those stats don't matter at all when you talk about quarterbacks, but nonetheless, Daunte Culpepper, this is a quarterback that I've wanted to use. I have not used. I've pretty much, like I said, just used Josh Allen, but nonetheless, this is another strong arm archetype quarterback that you want to take into consideration when you talk about, using your team. If you run a Dolphins theme team, if you run a Vikings theme team, I believe he's been on 1 or 2 other teams, but nonetheless, right, Culpepper has 2 player items. You got the 3K for the power-up, and then you've got about 120K for his 50 item, right? Let's go back here and take a look at Josh Allen. Josh Allen and Matthew Stafford, both of those quarterbacks do have multiple player items that you're going to need to use to go into their power-ups. And Matthew Stafford, let's touch back on that. He's got the best deep accuracy out of any of the quarterbacks that we touched on. So Josh Allen, you've got his power-up, which we don't see yet. You've got his base gold card, which is going for about 2K. You've got this card here, his team standout card, which is going for about 40K. And then we got to buy his power-up, which is going for about 140K. Woo-hoo-hoo! So, I mean, he's probably going to be the most expensive one out of them all, right? Because that team standout power-up, you can't pull that at all, right? Matthew Stafford, let's just take a look at him. So Stafford here, he's going to have a few player items. You got the power-up, you got the core elite card, right? I mean, we're talking, what, 4K there? Not much at all. And then you've got his Series Redux card from the limited item, which was 122K. So he's going to be very similar when you talk about Culpepper, when you talk about Brett Favre. Allen looks like he's going to be the most expensive one when you talk about just sheer how much it's going to cost to power him up, right? But I want to talk about one more card. Now, this is not a strong arm archetype card at all, but this is a card that I feel could be sneaky value, right? Now, he's not going to get Gunslinger, so you can forget about that. But Steve McNair. Now, let's take a look at Steve McNair. I want to look at his this is his fully powered up item. This item does not go into his power up. This is fully powered up item if you did power him up, right? Look at the stats here. All of the accuracy when you talk about short, medium, and deep, he meets the thresholds, right? He's got 85 speed, so right there with Culpepper and Allen. He's got 93 throw power, so that throw power, once you get him kimmed up, is going to be at 97, 98 throw power, right? Throw under pressure, throw on the run, same thing. Those are going to go up. Now, he does not get Gunslinger, which is a bit of a downer. However, he gets Hot Route Master and he gets Conductor. I bring that up for one reason. Now, really two reasons. Hot Route Master is going to allow you to save on ability points that you're not going to need to use on your other players, whether that's tight ends, whether that's wide receivers, whether that's running backs. You can save on ability points right there. So if we're talking sheer save on ability points, McNair, great option, and he gets Conductor. So with Conductor, he can go ahead as soon as you break the huddle, we can start making those hot routes. This chew clock thing, they said, oh, it's fixed. It's not fixed. The only way it's fixed, the only time I ever actually see it's fixed is on the competitive streams. Those competitive games, they can come out with like 20 seconds on the clock every single time. I'm coming out with like 11 seconds on the clock, even if I've called my play with 20 seconds left to go. It sucks. It's awful. But with Conductor, you can start making those hot routes right away, right? So then if you need to audible, you have saved yourself some time on the play clock. Whereas with the other guys, you can make one hot route, and then you got to wait until everybody gets set before you start making your other hot routes. With Conductor, you can go ahead and start doing that instantly, right? You don't have to wait. You can make one hot route, turn around, make another one without having to wait for anybody to get set. And because he has Hot Route Master, you can save ability points on the other players to where he can put those players on all the hot routes that they would have if they had their tight end apprentice or backfield master or slot apprentice or outside apprentice, right? So, I mean, listen, he doesn't get Gunslinger, so that's a bit of a downer, but this field general archetype, this is the best field general that you can find right now in Steve McNair. I'd say try this thing out. I'm very tempted to try him out just to see how it works, see how it makes my offense run, and then I could put other abilities on some other players, right? So keep an eye out for this one. McNair, I'd say the strong arms, just given that Gunslinger, the ability to get those bullet passes in a lot quicker, considering the way Acrobat plays, the way some of the zones play, and especially the way man coverage plays. It's insane. But nonetheless, man, I would say this Steve McNair is one to kind of give a look to. So nonetheless, that's the video. I'd say the strong arm archetypes are the best archetypes, but the field generals, I feel like, not right now, but once we start getting more field generals added into the game, and once they're able to get Gunslinger, Gunslinger is going to be a 3 ability point ability for them, and it's going to unlock at tier 3, I believe. But nonetheless, that's going to possibly be the wave, right? So Stafford, Allen, Favre, Culpepper, McNair, those in my opinion are your best quarterbacks, and then take a look at those strong arm quarterbacks, but don't sleep on Steve McNair, right? So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope I was able to make myself clear. I hope the points that I made sense. If I said something that you didn't understand, if you'd like me to explain something a little better, or if you just want to say what's up, man, leave that in the comment section down below. I love interacting with each and every one of you down there. And if you enjoyed the content and would like to see more, hit the subscribe button and turn the notification bell on to stay updated with all of my uploads. I'm ImJslay. I'm signing out today. I'll catch you all on my next video.